Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good evening to everyone. Friends of IRF who are all here to join our discussion today, and of course those who are listening or viewing the recording online. So I would just to briefly welcome again Professor Nadir Hashimi to our discussion today. It is the second discussion for today after the roundtable discussion earlier this afternoon. And in fact, I think I've a bit lost count. Is it like the fourth session overall?
It feels like the 40th.
So, it's the fourth session of the overall series of talks featuring Dr. Nadir Hashimi in our IRF programs for this weekend. So, for now, we are going to have an interesting discussion on a topic titled Towards a Neo-Modernist Islam, Fazlur Rahman and the Rethinking of the Islamic Tradition. I will just start our discussion with something rather of a personal sharing, which I think is interesting for me to share, of my own personal upbringing. For me personally, I was brought up in a rather, can we say, conservative family and cultural background. My parents are both members of ABIM, and my early education, in fact, before I went to school, during preschool, I'm already sent to an Islamic preschool, and that continued with the primary school, also an Islamic primary school, and then later continued with the National Islamic Secondary School. So after I finished my SPM, once again I got the opportunity to go to the Islamic University, IUM. But for whatever reason, at that time I thought that I think maybe I had enough of Islamic education for a while. I continued my study in UTM, so it's not an Islamic education. And I then further my studies in engineering. But whatever it is, somehow the interest on Islam could never really got up. Okay, because Islam as a religion is something important. So while studying, and even though we're a non-Islamic course, the interest on Islam continued. But however, at that age, or at that time, I think it was my first or my second year of my degree program, I start to sense I need to be introduced to a different type of Islamic learning. Not just only what is being taught in schools, in official courses, in the surahs, in the usrah sessions, in the cultures, in the activities, but something rather different. I was having something like an identity crisis on how to improvise our understanding and our living life as a Muslim. So I was looking into alternative discourses. At that time, I think IRF has not established that, or maybe IRF have yet to organize some programs. So there was, in a way, quite lacking when it comes to how can I get this alternative discourse. So I remember in one of the semester breaks, I was at home. And it was quite free at that time, so I was just doing some cleaning up and my store and the store at my house. So apparently I found a box. The box actually from my father's studies during his PhD time in Syracuse University in the US. So it was never opened. So I just opened the box, and it's a box of books. So I was going through the books, and two books that I found to be interesting. One is by Maulana Maududi, Let Us Be Muslim, that was the title, and the other one was Fazlur Rahman Islam. So at that time I was thinking, which one I want to read? It was at that time I just thought of between two books, but eventually I chose Fazlur Rahman Islam instead. And after reading the book for the first time, for me it answers a lot of my question which I had before. Mainly the question on why is it there are differences between how the ideal of Islam is being preached and always being taught, and how Islam is being practiced by Muslims in general. Because in the book, this one is the second edition, is the new one, it explains about why is it there are the problems between, at the time the Prophet started to talk about Islam, and the progression and how does it reach Islam to our current time. It's a very comprehensive understanding, and it explains a lot of things, which I think even students my generation, we lack that gap of understanding on between how Islam is being taught at early times and how does it actually resembles Islam of our current time now. So, so just to have an introduction of Fazlur Rahman is a very influential book can work when it comes to shaping my own view and personal experience in Islam. And I just thought that, what if at that time I would read the Maududi's book instead of Fazlur Rahman? Maybe I won't be here. Okay, just based on that brief introduction on the importance of Fazlur Rahman personally to me, myself, I think I would just continue to pass the session to Professor Nadir Hashimi. He's the professor at the University of Denver. He has made a lot of research works in various institutions, including Harvard and UCLA. I think he's also the author of Islam, Democracy, Secularism, and Liberal Democracy. And now I think I will straight away to pass the session to Professor Nadir Hashimi.